Hey, what is going on, people? Hopefully you guys are having an amazing Monday, or no, what is this, Tuesday today? I don't even know. Whatever the day is, having a great week. Hopefully the week is going to be amazing. Let's get to Friday. Like I said, I need to get to Friday. I fucking love Fridays. I actually love Thursdays and Wednesdays. You know what? I like Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. I love those days. I even like Mondays some days. It's not that bad. But either way, I'm going to be doing an update on my Tony Hawk's Underground 1 and 2 video, the remakes I was talking about, potentially those happening, when they can happen. The video did really well. I'm thankful to all you guys out there. I also gained, a good, I'd say like 10 subs from that video, which I'm really thankful, man. It means a lot. Do excuse the gameplay in the background if it is ass. Understand that I was doing this all off my iPhone. Also, advice, do not download games from, whenever you do download emulator, like basically games for an emulator, right? Make sure you know which one it is. Don't download random ass files, because you can really mess up shit, okay? I used to do it all the time back in the day on my dad's computer. I fucked it up a lot, so be careful. Make sure you go to trusted sites. But either way, so basically now we got some confirmation about a week ago. I wanted to make this video sooner, but I've been focused on other videos that have been taking up my time, so do excuse that, right? But yeah, Bam is back. He's coming back to Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk himself confirmed, I think it was on 9. I think it's called the 9 Skate podcast. Like I said, guys, I know what podcast I've seen it multiple times, multiple skaters, but he confirmed it there. And that is a big, big thing. Right? Then, man, a lot of people say the Jackass crew can't be back. Dude, look, if Bam is good with, Tony Hawk, because Tony and Bam, they've been good. You know what I mean? I know he's had like his hardships with the Jackass crew, and that, we've seen that, but we did see him in like the new Jackass movie. I believe we saw him in there. So I haven't seen it. I have to go see it right now. Not right now, but I'm gonna go check it out. But like I said, man, it just, Bam coming back is a very big telling sign, because dude, Bam was in basically almost all the Tony Hawk games. He's been in there since 3 and 4. He was in there for Underground 1. He Underground 1 because, again, he is the one who recruits you in Element, right? And then Underground 2, he had his own little story. Tony and him both were, they're like leaders. You guys are going across the world. And with the Jackass crew, the story was shorter in Underground 2, but it was what it was, man. And then also, then he was there for American Wasteland. He was also in there. So here's one thing I did not know. Bam was in Proving Ground. Or not Proving Ground. He was in Project 8. I knew about Proving Ground, but like I said, guys, I did not finish Project 8. I never finished it. I never really got that much into it. And just like I said, man, the game Project 8, it's skate. See, I'll say one thing right now. Whenever developers switched over to the PS3 360, era, right, when they got to their new engine, I can tell you right now, that's when it was very tricky for them to make. Like, there's like a lot of games kind of felt different from what they were from the PS2, and that's understandable. But like I said, man, Project 8 just had like a lot of the skateboarding felt much more heavier. You know what I mean? Like you can do a whole bunch of shit from 3 and 4, Underground 1 and 2 in American Wasteland. Then you go to Project 8, like, damn, this kind of feels kind of stiff. You can't really do all the stuff you really were doing back then. I don't know, man. It just wasn't something I liked as much. So that's kind of when, for me, that's when Tony Hawk games fell off, was when Project 8 came out. But you got to give it Tony, because, again, Tony Hawk is what basically saved Tony Hawk. Basically, like, the Tony Hawk games is what saved Tony Hawk's, financial situations. You know what I mean? Like, the game, if it wasn't for the games, he wouldn't have a net worth of, 140 million or something like that. Dude, like, that, he even, I remember Tony Hawk said a story about when, like, an Activision dev legit slipped him a check of $5 million. I think this was after American Wasteland came out. So, like I said, man, just the fact that Bam and the fact that Tony basically, he said he demanded that Bam's in the game. So, dude, like, you can tell us right there. I know that we all know Tony Hawk sees which games, 3 and 4 sold amazing, but we're not gonna act like Underground didn't do significant numbers. Like, that was it was that game, let alone Underground, changed Tony Hawk games for, because that had his own story. It had cutscenes. It even had its own lore. You know what I mean? It was one of those things that everyone and anyone who had a PS2 played Underground. From either they had PS2, they either had an Xbox, or they had it on GameCube. I believe. Wait, did Underground 1 come out on a game? You know what? I don't think it did. I don't know if it did. I have no idea. I know Underground 2 did. It might have, but to be honest, dude, I wasn't really I wasn't really caring about the GameCube, to be honest. Like, it wasn't much of a, it was there, right? I mean, I had a GameCube, but, you know, like, I played most of my shit on the PS2. It's nothing, no hate towards the game. The GameCube, honestly, will always be legendary no matter what, but yeah, either way. So the fact that Tony Hawk is making sure that Bam's here and that Bam's fully committed to it, right? He's actually, you know, I believe he's I don't know if he recorded like more voice lines or he did like, what is it? I'm not sure if he did mocap or the cases, right? But like, you know, whatever it is, he's gonna be in 3 and 4, and then, you know, hence when we do officially get Underground 1 and 2, like I said, dude, I know some people say there's no way that would happen, the Jackass crew, etc. Whatever the case is, dude, you can't miss out on not remaking Underground 1 and 2, or let alone Underground 1. You know what I mean? Like, dude, you can't, like, if Underground 1 is the only one they're gonna do, okay, that's fine, that's cool. I don't mind it. I'll take it. I will take it. I will take an Underground 1 remake. Just that one, and that's it. But we're not gonna act like they're gonna forget about what, you know, like like they're not gonna forget about Underground 1 and 2, and then they're gonna forget about American Waste, like, as if those games didn't change. Like, like, we're not gonna act like that wasn't people's first skateboarding games. Like, a lot of people's first skateboarding games was literally either Underground 1, Pro Skater 4, Underground 2, or even you know, American Wasteland. A lot of people, believe it or not, I'm in my comments, I saw a lot of people said American Wasteland was my first like skateboarding game, my first Tony Hawk game, or like Underground 1 is my first Tony Hawk game, or like, damn, not Pro Skater 4 was my first game. But like, a lot of people said, you know, American Wasteland was their first game. So dude, like, you can't skip those games. You can't say, you know, oh, we're not going to remake it. And there is always a trouble of them when they do remake it, they can cut a lot of stuff out. They might cut the Underground 1 story. There's a lot of stuff I could say. I could say still release the game and I'll take it. But then there's a part of me like, dude, that doesn't really make sense, because that Tony Hawk game, because of why it was special, was because of story. Was because all the locations, all the characters you met, all the skaters you met, like, it was that story that was so funny and was so cool that if they cut it, you're basically cutting away some people's, like, you know, memories right there. You're not really doing, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're getting rid of a core part of people's memories. Like, a lot of people are gonna think, why did you cut that out? And some people won't even want it. I know I might, and a part of me might not even want it then. Like, I don't know, man. It's hard to say if they will or won't, but with Bam being back, you can't really say they won't, right? Like, there's a chance they can still look at it. So anyway, man, that was my whole thoughts on this situation. My bad if I was rambling too much, but just had to let it off. I had to, you know, let it off. Just had to talk about it, man. But do look forward to more videos on my channel. Like I said, I have way more coming out. I just have been busy, man. Work, this, and, you know, just going off on you know, shorts and stuff like that. Trying to see what I really want to do, you know. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Let me know down below what you guys think of the situation. What are your thoughts now on the situation, on the status of, you know, Underground 1 and 2 remakes happening? I know some of you guys were kind of iffy on it. We're like, oh, there's no way, you know, this, and they're going to cut it, they're going to ruin it. Like, look, man, if Tony Hawk can demand this type of stuff, he can demand one major thing, is to make sure that, you know, Underground 1 and 2 have their stories. If, like, I feel like with 2, I don't know if some of you guys may agree with this with me or not, but 2 had a story as well, it had cutscenes, but some can say 2 stories is, like, really short. You know what I mean? I think Underground story is way more. I think, honestly, I think Underground story is longer than American Wasteland story. If I'm not wrong, I feel like it might be. But if they were to cut one game story, they can cut Underground 2 story. Because, I mean, technically, most of the game really was, because you saw they wanted to go back to, like, Pro Skater 4's type of, like, method of, like, how you interact with the story. Like, you have cutscenes, but, you know, we'll see. Whatever they do, I just hope that we get 1 and 2's remakes. That's all I hope for. But I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Remember to like the video and subscribe, because, again, it helps out, shares the video around, and it helps me out grow. So I appreciate it, man. Peace.